like the song too. So we're gonna go with it. Silence. No one... Oh wait, this is Anon. This is Anon. Yeah, this is Anon. Silence. No one dares speak a word. The stranger sitting across from us with the same stone-faced expression he had when he sat down a few minutes ago. Ripley is still on the line, and while I can't see him, I feel he's holding back a torrent of tears. Thanks, it's to my left, laser-focused on the phone in front of us. Every detail is apparent to me. Her long, shallow breaths, the minute twitching of her jaw, the barely perceptible trembling of her arms, and a look of complete shock on her face. Fang glances up at the dino across from us, then leaps out of his seat and sprints for an exit. By the time I call her name and get up out of my own seat, she's already out the door and headed down the sidewalk. By the time I'm out the door, she's already rounded the corner and headed towards our apartment. All I can do now is follow at an ever-increasing distance and hope I can calm her down when I get there. Torched by the summer sun, drenched in sweat and out of breath, I push past the door. It was haphazardly left open. I have Fang rummaging in the bathroom, and I hobble over to the doorway. A pair of suitcases lie open, clothes still on the hanger strewn across the bed. She comes into view with more clothes hanging off her arms, and tosses them towards the suitcases. She turns around and notices me, and looks oh shit, I forgot, we're going more dramatic. Wait, oh, no, I gotta go to dramatic. Is this dramatic? Nah, I've already done that one. I want to... Yeah, this is fine. Intercept. It's the right name too. Wow, are you just gonna fucking stand there or are you going to help? Without waiting for an answer, she heads back into the closet. What are you doing? I ask with great exhaustion. What the fuck does it look like? My dad found us. Well, we need to go. Now, if that wasn't obvious. She heads back to the bed and starts to stash the clothes away. Not bothering to fill them. And then what? She hesitates, her wings twitching in agitation. Where are you even planning on going? Who cares? There are more important things to worry about right now. Fang, stop. Were you not paying attention? The guy who threatened to put you in prison is on your ass and you want to stop? Were you? He was begging to help us. Was begging for your forgiveness. She stops tending to the suitcases, staying in place, slanted over the bed. So what? He's fucking lying. Why? He just is. I don't think he's lying. You don't know him like I do. Have you ever heard him cry before? He opens her mouth to respond, but nothing comes out. Because that's what he was doing. Crying. For you. A wow. We can't stay. What isn't she getting? We have to. We're out of money and we're running out of time. We have to do this again or we'll be sleeping on concrete instead of a bed. She collapses to her knees and buries her face in the blankets. The sound of muffled weeping bleeds through shortly after. Look, I reach out to her, but she weakly shoves me away. Get off of me. I sit down with my back to the bed, a couple of feet away. This was always going to catch up to us sooner or later. I just didn't think of this soon. My eyes wander around trying to think of something to say, and you fall in the front door that's wide open. I guess I should fix that. I push myself upright and slowly head over to the door. As I place my hand on the knob, I spot a tall grey dinosaur leaning against the wall outside of the doorway looking directly at me. The only thing that stops me from shouting is the sudden shock clenching all of my muscles at once. Catch, he says, reaching into a pocket and tossing its content at me. I react barely in time, the object bouncing between my hands. A few times before settling into place, it's phone. You call him when you want to talk. Call me if you want to leave. Any questions? This castle guy knows where I live now. Great. I mean, I already knew where you lived. Fuck. Take your time. Just not too long. I got places to be. He walks away, throwing up a little wave as he leaves. I stuff the phone into a free pocket and close the door and return to the bedroom. Fang is sitting on the floor with her back against the bed, wearing a morose expression. I sit down next to her, but decide against speaking. Ripley can wait. It's better if we take some time to think some things through. I don't want to, she whispers after a few minutes of silence. I can't go back. Well, we don't have to. But we can't do this on our own. We need a miracle. One is offering itself right to us. I wind my fingers between hers and squeeze. All we have to do is say yes. She squeezes back. Do you think we'll be good parents? Parents? That's a word that hits me like a sledgehammer to the skull. Why are you saying like? Listen, a fun thing you can do to make your writing a lot punchier and a lot less goofy is leave your likes and as-ifs for the moments where it matters. Just, words don't hit like sledgehammers. You don't have to say that it's a metaphor. Just say, the word hits like a sledge... No, that is how it sounds. Safi, you fucking clueless moron. Because words don't do it, you have to describe it, you idiot. Although I guess you could say that a sledgehammer... You little goober, you little goofball, you're being silly, you're trying to be smart when you're dumb. Your brain gets head, but your smart gets dumb, as they say. I spent this entire time thinking about what we need to do leading up to that point, and I haven't spared a thought to what comes after. Parents. After our own flesh and blood for 18 years or more. There's no way I can know where we'll go. I think we'll do just fine. Okay, I'm going to stop the music for a brave moment. You want to know the thing about parenthood that makes me kind of support abortion a bit more? A lot of people say, no, that's... Listen, your kid can come out fucked up. I don't know how to tell you this. There is a solid chance your kid is not normal. That your kid needs help. Your kid needs medication. Your kid might not be able to talk. They might be deaf, and you need to learn a new way to communicate. Your kid might just be a bit different. They might never agree with you. They might be psychotic. Kids can turn out fucked up. And if you're not... My mother said it the best. If you're not ready for the worst possible kid you can have, you're not ready for any fucking kid. You are not a parent until you're willing to accept that the worst possible freak of nature popping out of your womb is yours and you want to love it. If you can't handle your dog on their worst day, you're not a dog owner. You're an asshole. Like, fuck. If all you focus about is, man, it's going to be so great when my kid can take care of himself. Maybe they don't. Maybe their fucking bladder sucks. It's not a huge thing, but you're stuck with that now. You're going to have to deal with the fact that your kid is called pissy pants at school. And there's nothing you can do to change it. I'm just saying. The parenthood isn't about the good days. It's about the bad days, of which there will be many. You will be tired. Your baby will be fucked up and keeping you awake for hours. Parenthood is about the worst times. And that's why I think abortion is kind of important, because most people right now are in the worst spot to have babies. So they really shouldn't. Maybe the government should change and give some of that rich people money to people who need it for their babies. I don't fucking know. I don't know what the solution here is. Tighter family units? I don't know. But don't have a fucking kid if you can only handle the best kid that could pop out of you. Trust me. That's wishful thinking. That gets you nowhere. Comes to babies. I had waited until the next day to show Fang the phone and relay the offer. Yeah, Fang would have probably smashed it otherwise. She had glanced at it a few times, but didn't seem to want to give it the time of day. Other evening had rolled around, and there were fewer excuses for distraction. She stared at the phone sitting on the kitchen table. She constantly shifts through thinking, reaching, hesitating, retreating, and thinking again. There has to be a breakthrough at some point. I can't do it. She groans in frustration and shame as she holds her head in her hands. It doesn't make any fucking sense. None of this does. There's something we're not seeing, and I don't like it. She looks up at me. You get me, right? I think so. At the same time, we're not going to get any closer to seeing whatever it is by closing our eyes. She looks away and shakes her head, not pleased with the answer I gave. Look, we have to do this sooner or later. Waiting doesn't make it any easier. I take the phone off the table. I'll warm him up to you. You know, warm him up by saying the stupidest shit and making him want to strangle you. You're right, Anon. I can only see benefits. Because if he wants to strangle you, odds are he wants to strangle Fang a little less. thought Parenthood was about amassing a clone army worthy of the Republic. True. But I'm not talking about the clone army right now. I'm sorry to tell you that there's two forms of Parenthood. There's the clone army, and then there's normal people. Although, admittedly, I'd say the clone army is the normal people one. Why would you have a kid? You can have a clone from the clone army. They're trained. They come with a cool uniform. If you want someone who says Roger, Roger, just buy one of those B1 droids. I heard they're pretty cheap. I walk over to the couch and start looking through the phone. There are only two numbers on the contact list. One labeled Ripley and one labeled Castle. I call Ripley. I put the phone to my ear. This is the first time we've spoken to each other in a few days since all this shit started. Yes, at least these last 6-7 weeks, it felt like a year. Oh. Ripley's low and gruff voice is unmistakable, although it seems to have lost a bit of its edge I remember it having. Hey, it's Anon. Hey. He sounds disappointed. How are things over there? They've been worse. Your buddy showed up at a good time. He's not really my buddy. Sorry for yesterday, by the way. He told me he was going to do something completely different, but it sounds like he freaked you two out. It's alright. I don't think it would have made that much of a difference. If you say so. I'm glad you two are okay. Nasser and I were bedridden with worry. Oh, fuck God, Nasser! He's gonna be pissed that I was yanking him around that much. Is he gonna be alright? Better now. Things having happened to him and that parasol girl, though. Wait, Naomi? What do you mean? So Anon mutters a lot. What about on the phone? Is he just constantly, like, saying everything to the phone? Oh, no, someone's talking about pregnant. No. Pregante? What do you mean? I ask, trying to sound less interested than I actually am. If he hadn't noticed it, he doesn't show it. Haven't heard of her or seen her or anything not too long since you two left. They seemed pretty joined at the hip, so to speak, so it was hard not to notice. Naomi, out of the picture? I glance over at Fang, who's still sitting in the kitchen across the apartment. I don't know if she's within earshot or if she's even paying attention. Pregnant? The Luigi board? Can I get pregnant from the Luigi board? How to make ghost with Luigi board? Help! Ouija board. Pregante? Oh no. What about Trish? Is she around? She showed up a handful of times, but I wasn't interested in talking, especially after that false report. Pardon me for asking, but was there a fall out between them? A bit, yeah. Wait, that opens up an interesting possibility. Might be easy for all of us if we can bite the bullet back to Caldera. Maybe. Anyway, you two figure out what you want to do. We're still discussing it. Alright, take your time. No rush. Yeah, there's a long awkward pause. Guess that's everything we needed to say. I'll hand you over to her now. I get up and walk over to the kitchen, holding out the phone for Fang to take. She looks between it and me a couple of times. And I indicate that I'm not really giving her a choice. Tentatively, she takes it, then rushes out of the bathroom and shuts the door behind her. Well, it's quite literally out of my hands now. All that matters is how badly Fang does or does not want to set foot back in full Caldera again. If there are any apprehensions about seeing Trish or Naomi there, they should be irrelevant by now. Reed said he was going to stick with Trish, so he probably won't go where she won't. If there's anything between her and either Nasser or her dad, it should be workable. I'm not sure how long they were talking on account of the only clock being in our bedroom. I thought they went into the bathroom because they keep going there. But Fang eventually emerges. She places the phone back on the table and sits down next to me. She was definitely crying, but despite it, she seemed to be in an alright mood. So, how'd it go? Not good. Oh wait, no. Good, I think. He didn't say, but he really wants us back. She trails off, looking at nothing in particular. Just what? Naomi. I don't know what I do around her. I won't even be able to look at her or Nasser. Oh, I think they broke up. That breaks Fang's train of thought immediately. What? Why did Dad tell you that? Yeah, he said he hasn't seen Naomi around for a couple of weeks. Might as well be months for them. Wow. Guess that solves that. There's still Trish, though. Your dad hasn't seen her around much either. She raised an eyebrow at me. You've got a lot of answers. I asked some good questions. Let's go to something a bit smoother. Yeah, let's go with this. God dang Pricknard. Well, do you think we should go back? I don't think it's a bad idea, but I don't know if it's a better idea either. At the end of the day, it's your family, not mine. Convenient time for you to stop asking questions. She smirks. I'm just saying this shouldn't be my call. Speaking of answering questions, did you ask him about, Oh, holy fuck. Over the phone, are you crazy? I was just wondering. I mean, you'll have to drop that eventually. If you're not going to do it over the phone. Quiet. I'm still thinking about... Right. She punches me in the shoulder. Well deserved. Oh, I almost forgot. What the fuck? That was not a twofer. I told you I recognized that guy. Ah, no. What are the comments? No comments. We're on the final chapter.